All right, welcome to Math with Mr. Strands. We're going to be going over Algebra 1 in the Math UC book, Lesson 7a. Okay, and we're talking about slope. So if we look at 7a, number 1, the point where a line crosses the y-axis is going to be known as, that is the y-intercept. So if we go down here and we look, the point where the line crosses the y-axis, so here's your y-axis right here. Okay. And we're looking for the point where this line crosses. So you can see it crosses right here at 0, all right? So that is going to be the y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis, is known as the y-intercept. Okay, slope may be written as the rise dimension divided by the run dimension, or as the book is looking for, slope may be written as the up dimension divided by the down. Okay, number 3, a line with a blank slope slants down to the right as x increases. Okay, so it slopes. If we see a line that slopes down to the right, so for instance, look at this one right here. Okay, it's sloping down to the right. X is going to be increasing, right? So each time x is here, then it's going to be here, then it's going to be here, then it's going to be here, and it's going to go on, right? So a line with a negative slope. Right, now if we look at, for each graph, tell whether the slope is positive, negative, and then make a triangle and find m. M means your slope. Remember in the equation, y equals mx plus b. This is the slope-intercept form equation. M is going to be your slope. Okay, so if we look at this first graph down here, it says tell whether the slope is positive or negative. So the way I always tell my students is look at the way the line is going. If you imagine this just to be a slope, like a ski slope, okay, the slope is going down. Imagine you got a little guy here skiing, okay, he's going down the hill, right? So this is going to be a negative slope, okay, from left to right, it's going down. Okay, so this is going to be negative. And now we need to find m. M is the slope. So remember, for m, it's the rise over the run. And so what that means is I'm going to start with this point right here. I'm going to rise first. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 6 over my run, which is 1, 2, and that equals 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So your slope is going to be 3. Okay, let's look at this one. Now we have a line going left to right up. So if you imagine again, this is your hill or your ski slope. This time your guy, right, is going uphill. If you're going up, that's going to be positive. Okay. Now if we find the slope, rise over run. So remember m is rise over run. Our rise is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And our run is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So our slope is going to be 2. Okay, now they said draw a triangle. So notice this. If I connect these, if I connect my line and my dots, it forms my triangle. Okay, on this one, if I connect my dots and my line, it forms my triangle. Okay, so moving down to page 82, number 6 and 7, they want you to do the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and skip those. I'm going to skip 8 and 9. Let's go to page 83, 7b. All right, so in the formula y equals 4x plus 5, this is mx plus b. This is your slope. B is your y-intercept, okay? And x and y are going to be the values. So in the formula y equals 4x plus 5, the slope is going to be right here, 4. In the formula y equals negative x plus 3, the y-intercept, remember, is b, which is 3 in this situation right here. Okay, parallel lines have the same what? Okay, so if we look, I'm going to draw two parallel lines going this way. Try to draw them straight here. Okay, so there's one. There's another one, parallel. If we mark our points, one right there, one right here, one right here, and we calculate the slope on each of those, well, let's look. So rise over run. On this one, you can't rise. There's no rising, right? You just go right. So our rise is going to be 0. Our slope is going to be over 1, okay? 0 divided by 1 is 0. So any horizontal line is going to have a slope of 0. It's the exact same thing for this line, which answers our question. Parallel lines have the same slope, okay? Those are horizontal parallel lines. Let's look what happens if you have a vertical line, right? So if I have my vertical line, okay, and I mark my point, there's one right here and there's one right here. Okay, my rise over my run, okay, equals my rise is going to go up 1, but I don't go left or right any, so it's going to be 0. 1 divided by 0 is undefined. Let me write that in smaller ink so you can see, right? Undefined, because you cannot divide by 0. All right, 1 divided by 0, you can't do it. So any horizontal line, or I'm sorry, any vertical line is going to be undefined slope, right? Because you cannot divide by 0. All right, so I'm going to erase this here. Okay. And then 4 and 5 are similar problems, right? You're just finding the slope. So let's do number 5 together. Right, the slope is going left to right and it's going up. So you know it's going to be a positive slope. Okay, and my slope is going to be, well, here's a point here, and here's a point up here. So I'm going up 1, 2, 3. So my rise is 3. My run is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so my slope is going to be 3/5 for this one. Okay, once again, you go up 1, 2, 3 is my rise, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's my triangle. Okay, and there you go. All right, if we go down to 84, 6 and 7, 8 and 9 are just review questions, what we just did. Let's look at 7C. A line that includes the point 0 and -3 has a y-intercept of, well, let's look. If we had 0, -3, 1, 2, 3, okay, that's 0, -3. That means my line is going to have to pass through that point. And remember, a y-intercept is any point. It's where your line crosses this y-axis, and it crosses right there at -3. So you know that a line that includes the point 0, -3 has a y-intercept of -3. Okay, a line with a negative slope slants, right? So if you have a negative slope, it's going to slant down to the right as x is getting bigger. So you notice here, this point right here, x is 3. Look at the point if you go about right here, x is 5, and it's going to keep getting bigger because this line is going to go on forever. Okay. So find the slope and the intercept of each line and then write the slope-intercept formula. So let's look at number 3. We know it's a positive slope, right? Because it's going up. So we know it's a positive slope. The y-intercept is where our line crosses the y-axis, which is right here. So that's going to be at -1, -2. Okay, and then our slope, we have a point here, we're going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's our rise. And then the run, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 6 over 4 equals 1 and 1/2. Okay, so our slope is 1 and 1/2, and then we know the equation then is going to be y equals, oops, they already wrote their y equals 1 and 1/2 x minus 2. Okay, and that is going to be your equation for that one. All right, so you're going to write the equations for the next 3. All right, if we go down to page 86, let's look at number 11. Plot all the values of x is greater than -3.5. So first, let's find -3.5, which is going to be right here. Okay. We need to plot all the values of x that is greater than. Okay, so when x is greater than something, all right, you're actually going to leave it an open circle. Okay, and you're going to show that any point has to be bigger than that number going forward. Okay. If we look at number 12, okay, plot all the values of x that are less than or equal to 1.5. So if we first find 1.5, which is right here, okay, now since there is a equal, less than or equal to, you're going to leave it a closed circle. All right, so if you see this less than or greater than, it's going to be an open circle. Okay, if you see less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it is going to be a closed circle. All right, because I'm including that point, all right, and any point that is less than 1.5. All right, so I'm going to move my arrow going this way, right, and showing that it goes on forever, but it's including 1.5 and any point that is less than 1.5. This one, all right, I'm only including points that are bigger than -3.5. If it would have this line under it, it would include -3.5, but since it doesn't, it's any point that is bigger than 3.5. All right, 13 through 18, right? 13 through 18 are a review. Oh, sorry, 13 through 20 are a review. Okay, let's do just one of those. So if we do number 13, remember, you need to do order of operations. Okay, so parentheses first, 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 times exponents next. 4 squared is going to be 16 minus 9. So this is still in the bracket. And then I have divided by 3 squared, right? 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, I need to stay within the bracket first. Multiplication is first in the bracket, so 4 times 16, right? 4 times 6 is 24. And then that's 64 minus 9 is in the bracket. Dividing that by 27. Okay, I'm still in the parentheses because that's first in order of operations. So 64 minus 9 is going to be a 55. Okay, 55 divided by 27. Okay, so 55 divided by 27. If we go off to the side here, 55 divided by 27. Well, 27 times 2 is 54. Bring down your 0. 27 goes into 10 0 times, but it goes into 100, right? 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. That's 681. Okay, and that is going to be 19. Bring down your 0. Okay, And it's just going to keep going on and on like this. So you can just leave your answer like this. Okay, so just remember, order of operations, you need to do inside first, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and then subtraction. Okay, let's look at the rest of these real quick. Okay, so I want you to try to complete the rest of those. Go down to the next page. It's a little slow here. So 87 is just going to be what we did. You're going to find the formula, slope, and the equation. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Watch this video as many times as you need to. And thanks for watching.